We may love Melissa McCarthy playing him on Saturday Night Live, but the real deal gives us plenty to laugh about too. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Sean Spicer blunders. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at political gaffes that President Donald Trump's press secretary has made during his first 6 months in office, whether it was inside the White House press briefing room, outside of it, or online. Number 10. Fence or wall? So is it a wall or is it a fence? More importantly, is it the border wall that Donald Trump promised he would build during his campaign for president?
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice.
That's what reporters wanted to know when Spicer presented them with pictures of various security perimeter enhancements Congress had just approved for the U.S. border with Mexico in May 2017.
Are those photos of fences or walls?
Instead of answering the questions, the White House press secretary got quite confrontational and kept repeating the official names of the various structures.
What I'm telling anybody is that the president said he was going to build a wall and he's doing it.
Sticking to the talking points is one thing, but sometimes a simple yes or no answer will do. Number 9. Bathrobe. When the New York Times published interviews with anonymous White House sources claiming President Trump spent a good deal of time walking around his official residence in a bathrobe, Spicer didn't just deny the report. He denied the existence of a bathrobe in Trump's wardrobe and asserted he wouldn't even wear one.
You'd start at the top. I don't think the president owns a bathrobe. Definitely doesn't wear one.
Not only was this a claim that, if true, would mean the president lacks an item of clothing that most people own, it also turned out to be a rather easy assertion to disprove, given the fact that Donald Trump had been pictured lounging around in a bathrobe more than once, albeit before he was president. Number 8. The green tie. If you're a public figure that's frequently the subject of internet mockery, it's probably a good idea to avoid wearing clothing on TV that's easy for anyone with technical knowledge to green screen. Sean Spicer made that error in March 2017 when, in an attempt to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, he wore a bright green tie to a press briefing. The response from the internet was as swift as it was hilarious. This is one time when Spicer drew laughs that had nothing to do with what he was saying.
It's because I'm green, isn't it?
Number 7. Joe Trudeau. Justin Trudeau may try to come across as an average Joe, but that's not his name. Someone should have told Spicer what it really was so that he could avoid this press mishap in February of 2017. Because, following the Canadian Prime Minister's visits to Washington that winter, the press secretary referred to him as Joe Trudeau.
Yesterday, the president had an incredibly productive set of meetings and discussions with Prime Minister Trudeau.
You could cut Spicer a little slack if he had mispronounced a foreign name he wasn't used to, or even the PM's French last name for that matter. But Justin is pretty much as simple and common as an English name gets. Number 6. The upside-down U.S. flag. Flying the American flag upside down is recognized as a symbol of distress. On a ship, it's the equivalent of sending out an SOS message. While there are no hard and fast rules about whether it holds the same significance on a person's jacket, Sean Spicer gave us reason to think about it when he wore his American flag lapel pin upside down during a March 2017 press briefing.
I was going to say your pin's upside down.
While it clearly was an error on Spicer's part, people can still have fun implying that he was secretly trying to convey that the Trump administration was in some sort of distress.
Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, a Wall Street Journal. Are you okay?
Or that he was a raging fan of House of Cards. Number 5. Talking terrorism.
Anti-Muslim sentiment within the administration. Has the president been forceful about that particular issue?
When reporters asked Spicer what President Trump was doing to fight attacks against Muslims in the U.S. in February 2017, he didn't dodge the question. Instead, he answered a completely different question that he wasn't asked: what the president was doing to fight terrorist attacks by Muslims.
I think that the president, in terms of his desire to combat radical Islamic terrorism,
It's possible Spicer just didn't hear the question properly, but some contended that it was unfortunately telling that, when asked about a Muslim issue, he seemingly assumed it was a question about Islamic terrorism. Number 4. Phone hacking. Reporters and pundits usually get their talking points from administration spokespeople. With Spicer, sometimes this is reversed. To back up President Trump's claim that former President Barack Obama had wiretapped Trump Tower, Spicer didn't cite any intelligence official who would have been obliged to report any knowledge of phone hacking to the new administration in March 2017. Instead, he quoted Fox News pundit and judicial analyst Andrew Napolitano's claim that Obama got British intelligence to do his dirty work.
On Fox News on March 14th, Judge Andrew Napolitano made the following statement, quote, 3 intelligence sources have informed Fox News that President Obama went outside the chain of command.
This claim was later rejected by Fox News itself. As you can imagine, in the briefing room, this led to one of Spicer's more heated exchanges with the media. Number 3. Hiding in the bushes.
I'm pretty sure I can see him hiding in those bushes.
Traditionally, press secretaries dodge reporters' questions with deflection or clever language. Spicer, on the other hand, sometimes chooses to dodge the reporters altogether. When President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, who had been investigating his administration for ties with Russia.
Are you angry with Mr. Comey because of his Russia investigation?
I just want somebody that's competent.
A group of reporters outside the White House tried to get a comment from Spicer. Instead of answering, the press secretary hid from them in what was first reported as, quote, in the bushes. The Washington Post later clarified his location as being among the bushes, a distinction lost on the late-night comedians who took on the story. Regardless of where exactly he was, the fact that he momentarily disappeared immediately after the news broke is the real gaffe.
So he wasn't hiding in the bushes, okay? He was hiding among the bushes, okay?
Number 2. Hitler and chemical weapons. It's generally not a good idea to bring Hitler into a political debate.
I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat.
But if you do, you need to have your facts straight. Sean Spicer learned that lesson the hard way. When talking about Syrian President Bashar al-Assad in April 2017, the press secretary said that even Hitler never used chemical weapons.
Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons,
despite their actual wide use in Nazi gas chambers. When a journalist gave Spicer a chance to walk his statement back, he dug himself a deeper hole by calling concentration camps Holocaust centers.
He brought him into the Holocaust Center. I understand that.
After numerous groups, including the Anne Frank Center for Mutual Respect, called for his firing, Spicer issued a rare apology. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
And then obviously there's been this discussion of Paul Manafort, who played a very limited role for a very limited amount of time. But beyond, hey Jonathan, hold on. Can you stop interrupting other people's questions?
Number 1, inauguration crowd sizes. This is one Trump official who really hit the ground running, or rather stumbling, in spectacular fashion. In Spicer's very first encounter with the press, there were no questions allowed. Instead, there was just a fiery statement blasting the media for their reporting on inauguration crowd numbers, culminating in the over-the-top assertion that this was the largest crowd to witness an inauguration, period.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
This is what prompted another Trump staffer, Kellyanne Conway, to coin the term alternative facts in defense of what Spicer had said. And it was the moment that the legend of Spicy was born.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.